Alrighty. So we're gonna start by just doing a warm up together. You guys are taking a test today on the conversions that we've been practicing all week. Plus, we're also gonna kind of rewind and take a second test on dividing fractions. So we're gonna do some practice with dividing fractions right now and conversions, and then you'll go take your tests. So I'm gonna put 4 problems on the board. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have them numbered behind me, and then give you guys probably only like 5 minutes tops to work on the 4 problems. If you don't finish them, it's okay, but we're gonna review them. So this is what we're starting with. So we have 7/8 divided by 1/4. Our second one is 3 divided by 1.5. Number 3 will be 2 1/4 divided by 2/3. And our last one is 3 2/5 divided by 1 1/3. Okay, so there's 4 problems on the board there. I'd like you guys to take about 5 minutes and just work on them. Can you see all 4?
A little bit.
What?
Can you move it up?
Move it up. You can't see the top?
Uh-uh.
Is that better?
Yeah. Then
All right. Okay, so we have 4 problems there. We can see all 4 now. We're good? Okay, go ahead and take about 5 minutes. I'll play a little bit of music. It's all right if you don't finish. Just take your time. Work on these 5. See how far you can get. There it goes. All right, so be working on these 4 problems, please.
Miss Jones, I forgot how to do the whole numbers.
Put it over 1. 3
Okay.
over 1. Does that help a little?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a really slow, sad song. I'm gonna change it. That sounds better. We'll play this whole song and then we'll go over them. It's only 3 minutes, so take about 3 more minutes.
Miss Jones, what do you do if there's a problem that has a 0 over a numerator?
Just drop the fraction part. It goes in evenly, so it's just the whole number.
So you like add the bottom part with the whole number?
No, you don't. Wait. No. I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about.
So like if it was like 0 over 6,
Mm-hmm.
do you add the 6 by the 3?
So you got like 3 and 0, 6?
No, that I'm just making up an equation because I don't want to get the answer away.
So like if you were like 3 and 0, 6 divided by 1/3?
No, that was 3 and 0, 6 is the answer.
Oh, then 0, 6 means that there's no fraction part of it, so you just can get rid of that part.
Okay.
It's just a whole number.
Okay, because I don't get that part.
Alrighty. Let's go ahead and go over these. So for dividing fractions, we know that both numbers need to be actual fractions. They need to be something over something. We can't have whole numbers, no mixed numbers, just needs to be fraction over fraction, right? So when we get to this point, we can do keep, change, flip, KCF. So we're going to start with number 1. Keep, change, flip. Keep the 7/8. What do I change division to?
Multiplication.
Good. And what do I flip 1/4 to become?
1 and 4.
Well, you got to flip it, right?
Yeah.
4 over 1. And then we can multiply straight across. What's 7 times 4?
28.
28. And 8 times 1?
8.
8. Good, are we done?
No.
No, why not?
You have to divide it.
We got to divide. This is an improper fraction. To change an improper fraction to a mixed number, which means you're simplifying it, we divide. 28 divided by 8. How many times does 8 go into 28?
3.
3 times. 24, subtract and get 4.
Gabby's answer was 8 into the 7. That is correct. Remember, we add our exponents here, guys.
Sorry, I was talking to Ms. Mills. I almost said Ms. Bradley, but I caught myself. It's all right. Okay, so we have 3 as our whole number. And then we have 4 over 8. Your remainder is 4. Your denominator is 8. But we're still not completely done because we can simplify 4 8s. What number goes into 4 and 8?
1/2.
Well, yes, you get 1/2. But what number goes into both 4 and 8?
4.
4. We can divide the top and the bottom by 4. And we get 3 as our whole number. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So you get 3.5 as your answer here. Okay?
Okay.
Number 2. We have 2 numbers that we can't divide yet because they need to be changed into improper fractions. How do I change 3 to become an improper fraction? How do I make the number 3 a fraction?
Put a 1 under it.
Put a 1 under it. So we have 3 over 1. That needs to get divided by, we need to change this mixed number, change the mixed number to an improper fraction. So we take our whole number 1, multiply it by our 2, and then we add the top. So what's 1 times 2?
1 or 2.
2 plus 1 is
2 or 3.
3. And then we keep our denominator the same. And now we need to do keep, change, flip. KCF. Keep 3 over 1 the same. What do I change division to become?
Multiplication.
Good. And what is 3 divided over 2 flipped to become?
2 over 3.
2 over 3. Good. Now we have 3 times 2, what is that?
6.
Good. And 1 times 3.
3. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So now we have 6/3. Again, this is improper. We need to divide to make it a mixed number. 6 divided by 3. How many times does 6 go into 3?
2 times.
2 times. And it goes in evenly. So this is the one that Donald was talking about. You end up with the number 3. Sorry, not 3.
No, it's the other one, number 3.
Oh, well, this one does too. 2 and 0 over 3. So you have 2 and 0/3. But if you have 0 on the top of a fraction, it just means that there's no fraction part of it left over. So you can just get rid of it. And your answer here is a whole number, 2.
I got 2/3 on that one.
Maybe you didn't flip?
I did flip it. You'd have to flip. You didn't flip 2/3.
Yeah, I did. Because it's 3 over 2.
No, but when you multiply it, 1 times 2 plus 1 is 3 on the top. Then you have to flip it and it'll be 2/3.
I did flip it. It is 2/3.
Oh, I was looking at the one above it.
No, I did flip it right here.
Okay.
So 6/3.
Okay.
Number 3, we have a mixed number and a fraction. We need to change our mixed number first to an improper fraction. Take our whole number 2, multiply it by the 4. So what's 2 times 4?
8,
Plus 1.
9.
9. Over 4, it stays the same. Divided by 2/3. We don't have to change 2/3 to anything. Now we can do what? KCF.
KFC. KCF.
Keep, change, flip. Keep our 9/4 the same. What do I change division to?
Multiplication.
Multiply. And what does 2/3 flip to?
Number 4 is just
Three over
a never-ending division problem.
Okay, we'll talk about that one. Good, 3 over 2. And then we can multiply. What is 9 times 3?
8.
27.
27.
27. Divided by 4 times 2.
8.
8. So we have 27 over 8. And again, we can divide. 27 divided by 8. How many times does 8 go into 27?
3.
3 times, you get 24. Minus is 3. So we get 3 as our whole number. From there, this 3 on the bottom becomes our numerator, and the 8 that we divided by is our denominator. And that's as simplified as that one goes. 3 and 3/8.
I must have done my math wrong today.
I got that one right.
Good. And our last one, again, we have 2 mixed numbers. We need to change them to improper fractions first. So we need to multiply. What's 3 times 5?
15.
15 plus 2?
17.
Good, so 17 is our new numerator, and our 5 stays the same as the denominator. That gets divided by, we have to change this one as well. What's 1 times 3?
3.
And then we need to add 1?
4.
4. Divided by 3, it stays the same. Now that we have 2 fractions, what's my process? What do I do now?
You gotta flip them. Keep, change, flip.
Keep, change, flip. We're going to keep 17/15 the same. We're going to divide or change our division to what?
Multiplication.
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 And then what does 4/3 flip to become?
3 over 4.
Good. 3 over 4. 3/4. Now we need to multiply. What is 17 times 3?
51.
Good. 51 over 5 times 4?
Wolf. 20.
20.
I did my math wrong. I did not get that answer.
That's all right. Sometimes
I
you know
only got one wrong.
it's a process. Now we need to do 51 divided by 20 to get our mixed number.
Miss Jones?
Huh?
Something's wrong with my mouse and I can't really control it good.
I have no idea what that would be. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Are you using like a plug-in mouse?
No, I'm using a keyboard mouse.
Maybe try turning your computer off and on after we finish this.
Okay.
So let's do this division here. 51 divided by 20. How many times does 20 go into 51?
2.
Twice. And it's 40. We subtract and get 11. So our whole number here is 2. 11 is our remainder, so it becomes our numerator. 20 is what we divided by, so it's our denominator. And that's as simplified as that goes.
I didn't get any of them right.
That's all right.
I
Take
got
your
one
time.
wrong.
Do your best on the second one or the test that we take today, okay? So that's going to be one of the tests you take today. Just a second check on your dividing fractions. We're also going to take a conversions test. So let's go ahead and review conversions really quick. All right, we're just going to do all these together. Let's start with, so we're going to convert 64% to a fraction and decimal. Okay, so we're going to take 64% and it's going to become a fraction and a decimal. So let's start with decimal to fraction. When we go from decimal to fraction, percent to fraction, we're going to take 64%. How do I change this to a fraction? What's my first step here?
Put a 100.
Remove the percent sign.
Okay, get rid of the percent sign, and then I heard Dylan say put it over 100. All of you are correct. Take away the percent sign, put it over 100. Now, we're not done. A lot of you guys on the independent practice that you guys did got to this point. You did change it to a fraction, but what do we still need to do? You got half credit if you got here.
I did that.
Yeah, I gave you half credit on your problems if you got here. But what else? What's the next step we need to do?
Find a number that goes into it.
Good. Simplify. So what number is going to go into both 64 and 100?
8. I know, 8.
8 doesn't go into 100. Start
Yeah,
small. 4 goes into both. Let's do 4.
It does?
Yep. What's 64 divided by 4 then?
16.
16 over what's 100 divided by 4?
25.
Good. 25. Can I simplify this any further? Can I keep going?
No.
Nope. That's our fraction, 16/25. Okay. Now we need to go from percent to decimal. So we take 64%. And it
This
needs to become a
one's the
decimal.
easiest part.
Huh?
This when converting one of those what is it? A percentage into a decimal is the easiest one to do.
Yeah, I think these ones are pretty easy too. So we need to get rid of the percent sign first. Your decimal is at the end of the number 64 because it's a whole number. It always goes after. And we need to move it 2 times. Do I move it to the right or do I move it to the left?
To the left.
To the left, twice. Always move it twice. And your decimal is 0.64. Good. So you'll have a problem probably similar to this on your test today, just so you know. Let's do another one. We're going to do 2 more.
Sean,
Yeah.
did you know that on Minecraft, we can hold up to 64 of the same thing in one slot?
I did not. I've never played Minecraft.
I
Okay.
played it once, just once.
Minecraft
Terrible.
Minecraft can be boring sometimes, but it also can be fun.
I play Minecraft way too much when I do.
Okay, focus back on math. I want to give you guys the time to take this. Plus, we got things to do. So we're going to convert 7/8 to a decimal and a percent. Let's start with fraction to decimal. How do I take this fraction and make it a decimal? What do I need to do?
Divide.
Divide. Take your numerator, 7, and divide by the denominator, 8. Does 8 go into 7?
One
No.
time.
Oh, you have that flipped. 7 goes into 8 one time, but 8 doesn't fit into
Oh.
7.
Okay.
So we need to add a decimal and a 0 and bring up our decimal. Now we can do 8 going into 70. How many times does 8 fit into 70?
8.
8 times. You get
64.
4. Subtract and get 6. We're going to keep going. Bring it out a couple of decimals. Does 8 go into 60?
No, wait, yes, 7 times.
7 times. And you get 56. Subtract and get 4. Go out one more time. You get 40. Does 8 go into 40?
Yes,
Yeah, 5 times.
5 times. And this time you subtract and get 0. So our decimal here is 0.875. Done. There's our decimal. Now, to take a fraction and change it to a percent, the first step is to divide and get a decimal, which we already did. And then it wants you to take your decimal and just move it 2 places to the what? To the right or the left?
to the right.
To the right this time. 1, 2. So once you have a decimal, you can change it to a percent by moving it 2 times to the right, and you
To
get
the right and to the left is the song Elmo slide.
okay, and you get 87.5%. Okay, so you don't leave off the 5, you don't get rid of the 8 or the 7, you just move it twice and write your new number, add a percent sign. Okay, let's do one more, and then you'll take your test.
Because my cousin, she's almost 3. She loves Elmo and Mater.
Like Tomater.
Yep. And she calls horses foo-foos.
Ow.
That's cute.
She's pretty funny. She's hit me before, just because I said it was my Mater.
Yeah, toddlers are a little bit aggressive sometimes.
Yeah, she's hit another toddler before too.
Right. So let's do this last problem. Convert 55 hundredths to a percent and a fraction. Let's start with the percent. So we have 0.55. To change our decimal to a percent, how many times do I move my decimal?
2
2.
2. To the right or to the left?
to the right.
To the right this time. Okay. And then you get 55%. Done with that one. Now, we need to take our decimal and make it a fraction. Okay, there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either say this out loud. If you say this correctly out loud, you get 55 hundredths. 55 hundredths, which is how you would say this fraction, 55 hundredths. Or you can take your percent and do percent to fraction, where you just take away the percentage sign, put it over 100. Either way, you're going to get 55 over 100. But I would only give you half credit for this answer. Why?
You just didn't
Because we
simplify.
need to simplify. So what number goes into both 55 and 100?
5.
Good, 5. What's 55 divided by 5?
11.
11. And 100 divided by 5?
20.
20. Can I simplify that any further?
Nope.
Nope. So there's your answer.
Because that question's too cool. That's why you can't simplify it.
Uh-huh. Sure, we'll go with that. All right. So that is the review we're going to do. While we were doing that, let me present my screen. We had...
It's just a smiley face, kind of. It looks kind of like a smiley face. The 11 with the line.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. So on Google Classroom, while we were doing that, let me reload it so I make sure it's there. We had 3 things post, and these are the 3 tests that you're going to be taking today. So under math, we had the conversions test post. It's 5 questions, all about the converting between fractions, decimals, and percents. Okay, 5 questions. Then we have a second dividing fractions check. Okay, moved. Which means it's 5 questions about dividing fractions. It's a lot of word problems, so read them carefully. Do some division there. And then our last one is our week 8, Friday 5. This one is also 5 questions. and it's kind of a review of what we've done. It also throws in some things that we haven't done so that we can see if you already know how to do them or not. So just do your best on this one. I don't actually take it for a grade, but you need to complete it. Okay? So those are the 3 things you're doing for math. A lot of you guys, however, and we had like a disruption in the middle of reading this morning. So those of you that were not at reading, just really quick, under ELA, you have an informational paragraph where you're just writing a paragraph about how you think or why you think it's so impressive that Michaela DePrince was able to overcome her childhood and the rough part she had to become a ballerina. So that's one thing you need to finish. And then there's also a test to take based on that passage that we've been reading, Michaela DePrince. So that's our ELA for the day if you missed that, or I had to go to a meeting right in the middle of the lesson, so I left for a little bit. So ELA got a little messed up, but those are the 2 things you do for ELA. And for math, you have these 3 tests to take. Does anybody have any questions on those?
No.
No.
I don't.
All right. Before you leave, stay here so I can check my attendance.
Miss
And
Jones,
yeah, Charlie, what's up?
are you excited for Monday to come?
A little.
Okay.
I'm still not super comfortable with having a lot of people in a room right now. So not my favorite idea, but we're going to do it and try it. All right, so make sure you go and take those tests really quick. I'm going to stop the recording. We don't need to be recording anymore.